curveball.
Marquez, 6 shutouts.
Herman's in a great spot.
What should not be lost tonight is the performance of Herman Marquez again.
I was born from the bottom, but raised to the top. I was born from the bottom, but raised to the top. I was born from the bottom, but raised to the top. I'ma keep on climbing, I ain't gonna stop. I was born from the bottom, but raised to the top. I was born from the bottom, but raised to the top. I was born from the bottom, but raised to the top. I'ma keep on climbing, I ain't gonna stop.
He's got him. He went around. 13 strikeouts. Runner going. That's a swing and a miss. Adams is gone. Pitch that'll strike out Correa for the second time. 11 strikeouts. What a performance again by that 23-year-old.
Raised to the top.
Here come the Rockies. Take a good look. You will see it for long. Another beautiful autumn night in late September. The Rockies hunting October. And they are enjoying a great stretch of baseball in this most important time of year. They're at 87 and 70, winners of 5 straight, 17 games north of 500. That is as high above 500 as they have been all year. And tonight is game 3 of this 4-game set against the Phillies. We've talked a lot about Herman over the last couple of minutes. We've done a lot of bragging on him in the second half. Not only is he pitched well, he's a blast to watch pitch. And tonight will be his 32nd start. He's looking for his 14th victory. And the first man he'll face is Cesar Hernandez. And that first pitch at 95, just missed, ball 1. Here's the next pitch, bounce foul to the second baseman for Philadelphia. And it's a true 4-pitch mix now, isn't it?
It really is. Here's last year's numbers: 2017 on the left, 2018 on the right. Fastball usage down because the curveball and the slider have been developing. And when you think about a true 4-pitch mix, you think about, can you use these in hitters' counts to get back? Well, the slider, yes, he's using it in a 2-1 count, 3-1 count. Same with the changeup.
Well, there's strikeout number 1. That didn't take long. Speaking of secondary pitches, Hernandez is gone. Let's take a look at Gabe Kapler's Southwest batting order for the fighting Phils, who lost a lot of their fight here in September. Carlos Santana, Odubel Herrera, Rhys Hoskins, the toughest out in that lineup. He's batting clean up. He hit the home run a couple of days ago. Interesting, Roman Quinn's kind of a leadoff guy or the back of the order guy when they've got the pitch rate. They have him in the 5-hole tonight, and I asked Rob Thompson, their bench coach, about that, and he said, we're just trying to get him some more at-bats, and with the pitcher hitting 9th, we decided to move him up to the middle. Different.
That's fine.
Santana with a 1-1 count.
The beauty of Herman this season has been, for the guys around him, when you're watching this Rockies team on defense, there's a calm behind it. They're excited.
Well, last year they finished defensively 2nd by fielding percentage in all of baseball. They're a brilliant defensive club. And this year they're right there again. They're 3rd. Trevor committed an error last night. There was another one that was turned around after a closer inspection. But he's had a great year, and there's another strikeout. It's on a breaking ball. 2 up, 2 set down immediately by Marquez, who has his jaw set. Remember, he gave up a home run in the first inning in his last start, and then he said no more. Here's a Red Robin defensive alignment. Good to see Cargo back in there. He had a big double last night off the bench with the bases loaded. So he's in right, and the super reliable, the incomparable DJ LeMahieu at second. Here's Odubel Herrera. Strike 1 on Odubel. You know, he's got to be in the conversation for best hair in the big leagues, right? That's a strike 2.
You know, Raimel Tapia would like to be in that conversation too. Tapia puts a lot of effort into his mop.
And what do you have to say for yourself?
I got broadcast hair.
And that's a pretty good way to start. 3 up, 3 punch outs, and Herman will walk off. He has set the stage. He has set the tone. That Rockies offense red hot. We'll see them next. Monday. They had 13 hits Monday, 14 hits yesterday. Charlie Blackmon, 2 more hits last night. He's riding a 17-game hitting streak. Here's the Southwest batting order for Buddy Black. DJ, then David Dahl. He's become a fixture of late in that 3 spot. Nolan will bat in the cleanup spot. Trevor Carr goes back in there as we were discussing. Ian Desmond has a home run against Nick Pivetta. That was back in Philly earlier this year. Tony Walters batting 8th. A good hitting pitcher. He does everything well. Herman Marquez. Nick Pivetta's got a good arm. He'll run that fastball in the mid-80s. And he's been solid in the month of September. His first fastball at 93 is on the outside corner, a strike to Blackmon.
When you look at Pivetta's numbers, you see 159 in 3rd innings, but 185 strikeouts. He has the 2nd highest strikeouts per 9 in franchise history. Only Curt Schilling had a higher number.
Well, this is one of the building blocks for the Phillies. Nick Pivetta came in the Jonathan Papelbon deal a few years ago from Washington. And on the swing, Charlie went, so it's 1-2.
Well, Arsenal stuff, and just looking at how he's increased his usage in slider and curveball, this might remind you a bit of Herman.
That ball's fouled off. Yeah, he's a 4-pitch mix guy. He doesn't use his changeup much at all. And not that Herman throws his changeup a ton, but you'll see his changeup, 4, 5, 6, 7 times a ball game. But in Pivetta's case, does not utilize that delivery much at all. Fastball, curveball, slider. 1-2. And they go up again. It's 2-2.
Pivetta grew up in Victoria, British Columbia, and as he grew up a huge Toronto Blue Jays fan. His hero, the late great Roy Halladay.
That was a wonderful guy to emulate.
I wonder if he realizes that Roy Halladay is from our backyard.
Yep. 2-2. And this is on the ground off of Hoskins, a foot race, and Pivetta still able to get there. So it's 1 out, and that'll bring up DJ LeMahieu. Here's the Red Robin defensive alignment tonight for the Phils. Scott Kingery's done a good job defensively at shortstop. His natural position is second, but he's kind of locked things down over there at short. And, the big kid in the outfield once again, Dylan Cousins, the former defensive end recruit by the University of Arizona. 1 out. DJ at the plate. He was 3 for 5 last night with a couple of RBIs. In fact, yesterday was the 90th time in his Rockies career he has had a 3-hit or more game. That's pretty good stuff.
If you like multi-hits.
If you like raising your batting average. If you like to be on base a lot.
Well, this Rockies offense is being driven by the top of the lineup. And if DJ gets on, that means they're going to score some runs.
Well, we were documenting in Spilly last night how frequently of late during this win streak those two guys, Charlie and DJ, have been on multiple times each night. Charlie was on 3 times yesterday. DJ was on 3 times yesterday. That's in there. 2-1. Home plate umpires Todd Tishner tonight. Jimmy Reynolds at first. Mark Wegner's the crew chief. He's in center field just right now.
He's standing in center. He's not literally in center field.
There's John Tumpain at third. Outside 3-1. The Phillies, a new metric team and had been shifting a great deal, but DJ is a guy, as we all know, hits to the right side quite a bit. Their alignment has DJ in the infield as a pull hitter. Cesar Hernandez is up the middle. I've never seen this before with DJ at the plate. Look at how big that hole is on the right side, and that's where it goes. Thank you, DJ. We appreciate that. Good timing. That's a line drive to second in a normal alignment.
I don't know if it's a line drive to second normal alignment, but it would have been closer to Hernandez making a play on it. The Phillies are trying to bust DJ LeMahieu inside, and that's exactly where somebody with an inside-out swing wants it. Inside-out swing basically means that you keep your hands as close to the body as possible, and as you're driving your hands through the strike zone, the barrel lags. And that keeps that barrel in the zone for a long time, and it usually has hits towards right field.
1 strike on David Dahl. Home run Monday night. 3-run home run last night. And watch David. He told me he was going to do this today. He had been shortening up on the bat just a little bit with 2 strikes, and he said, I may do it right away tonight.
They don't see it, or they're pretending.
2 outs.
For the Win is brought to you by Pizza Ranch. Tonight's going to be special. Keep the foot on the gas. The Rockies have outscored opponents 33-7 over this current 5-game winning streak, and that's not just offense. That's quality start after quality start. That is running on all cylinders. By the way, Milwaukee Brewers up 2-1 against the Cardinals.
Here we go, Brew Crew.
Not that I'm watching.
It's okay, you're allowed to. 2 for 5 last night for Nolan. I've never been a bigger, nor anybody in the Rocky Mountain region, Brewer fan than when you were on the field in 07. And I literally, that night, back then, the television we have in the booth, Spilly was, we'll show you in a second here after this pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike on Nolan. So the television, Georgie was sitting here. You're Georgie, right? I'm sitting here, and the television was right back here. And if there's something going on, every once in a while you'll go like this. Well, that night I literally did the game like this, watching the Brewers and Tony Gwynn Jr. and then I check in here, and now our television's on the other side. But
that's why I have that.
That's why you're turned that way.
And that's why I have this thing in my neck.
Check swing, roller, foul.
Well, Nolan has been trying his best to get himself right, and slowly we can see him take a consistent swing. He showed up early today, took early batting practice, took normal batting practice, just trying to get all that muscle memory to shake whatever bad habit he had earlier in September, and really from middle of August until September. I think he was still dealing with his load.
And they get him with a slider down. That'll end the inning. DJ is stranded at first base. We'll go to the second. No score. Rockies and Phillies. Moment, Ubaldo Jimenez. 214 strikeouts in 2010, the franchise record. Well, the guy in the hill tonight is one away from tying that after striking out the side in the first inning. That's fun hitting off Ubaldo, throwing 99 in the rain, huh? Herman facing Rhys Hoskins to begin the second inning, is ahead 0-1, so he's got 213 strikeouts. And that's a great slider. Really in an unhittable location. 0-2.
Ubaldo was incredible that 2010 season, and I always have to take a double take when I look at how many innings he threw that year. 221 innings. That's a lot. That was a big workload. He took a big workload the year before. See you later, Rhys Hoskins.
4 up, 4 punch outs. And now he is tied Ubaldo's mark. We've said this so much about Freeland and so much about Marquez. I know we sound like a broken record, folks, but it just jumps off the screen, hopefully at you at home, and it does for us, seeing him on a regular basis every 5th day. You know that line in football, man, he had his jaw set. This young man, he's ready to go. I mean, he's going to set the tone. That's pretty clear by how this thing is started. Remember how angry he was when he gave up the home run in his last start?
Yeah.
It's like, I'm putting my foot down. That's the end of that.
It's like, I don't know, we saw Ian Desmond slap Tony Walters during a game. That's the same thing. 215's about to come right here, Drew.
Well, he just pounded the zone. 0-2. Herman gave up a 2-run home run to Peralta after a John Jay double in the first down in Arizona. After that, 6 shutout innings. There is the new record. Herman Marquez has struck out the first 5. And there it is up on Rocky's vision.
The entire dugout was screaming at Nolan. He was going to throw it into the stands.
Look at this. Standing ovation. He ain't messing around. It's fouled off by Cousins. He's got the whole package tonight. He's got the curveball and the slider, and the league against his breaking ball, either one, You combine them, and it's about $1.50. It's one of the best marks in baseball. His curveball slider package.
We thought we were going to get a chance to drag out this strikeout between Germán and Ubaldo. He said, nope. You can get rid of this in about an inning and 2/3. 5 outs.
Front 2-2.
Amazing part for Germán too is he was able to do this, break the record of Ubaldo with about 20 less innings pitched.
And he has struck out the first 6. Are you kidding me? Not supposed to be that easy. Those guys are big leaguers on the other side. Photos, use Twitter, include the hashtag Toyota Talk. Now the entire conversation's about Germán Marquez. He just set a Rockies record. He struck out the first 6 guys of the game. And he has the all-time single season record for strikeouts. Right before our eyes and your eyes, this young man is becoming one of the best pitchers in baseball.
Like, not to take anything away from Ubaldo in 2010. Ubaldo struck out 214 in 221 innings. I said that last inning. I just did the math. It's taken Germán 35 innings less to break that record.
Inside on Trevor.
What would Germán pitching the way he looks like with 35 more innings look like? He's getting close to 300.
The way he's pitched the last month and a half, absolutely.
Max Scherzer last night reached 300, 17th time in Major League history.
Which sets up an interesting question, Bill. You brought it up last night, and we probably won't know for a couple of days. They have an off day tomorrow. If he goes on normal rest, he could pitch Sunday. Now, I know you were talking to some guys we know with the Nationals, and they think he's probably going to shut it down. But this ball's well hit to right. Hold on to that thought. Deep right and off the scoreboard, and Cabrera has to play chase all the way back toward the infield. Trevor to third easily, and he'll take a couple of steps around the bag. A lead-off triple for Story. 81 extra base hits now.
Well, Pivetta threw a couple fastballs up and in. That's where they want to challenge Trevor, but they missed and forced him off the plate. Anytime he missed to a hitter a couple times up and in, they'll get locked in. This pitch away, Trevor takes it away. And it hits right off that angle, which forced it down the line. Now the Rockies are in business.
Fargo, who drove a double with the bases loaded off the bench last night, came off his bat at 113 plus miles an hour to left center to drive into. He stayed in the ball game, went 1 for 2. Chance to drive in his 62nd run. That's fouled up. Getting back real quick to Scherzer. There may be outside pressure on him if that ball game Sunday for the Rockies is of great importance, not only to Colorado, but to potentially the Dodgers, potentially the Cardinals, potentially who knows, right? There may be outside pressure for him to take the baseball Sunday.
Sure. I mean, that happens to players all the time. Guys will want to compete in that last day because they want to keep that integrity going.
This ball to center field. This should get the job done. Quinn makes the catch, and Story will cruise home with run number 1. Spilly, one of the Rockies when they score first.
You gotta look it up, but it's really, really good. It's over 75% of the time they win.
Nice AB there for Cargo.
When the Rockies score first, they're 52-16. A hanging curveball in the Subaru Supermo off the end of the bat for Cargo, but he did his job. Look for a pitch to get up. Drive it into the outfield. I just love that. It's a team quality at bat. Of course you want to get a base hit, but the job was to put the ball in the outfield.
So nice job, Cargo. 3 RBIs over the last 24 hours, and the night is young. Here's Desmond. He went oppo taco against Pavetta in Philadelphia. Nothing perhaps more frustrating for a hitter than to do that. So Desmond retired, 1 unassisted. That'll bring up Tony Walters. Hey folks, reminder, when the Rockies score 7, and they've been doing that with regularity at home, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day between 4 and 6 to get your Rockies taco special. Lip Moss at Taco Bell. The Rockies put up a crooked number again tonight, Spilly. Crooked being double digits. It'll be 4 straight home games that they've scored at least 10. The last time that happened, the year 2000. On Walters. 2-0. Just don't like pitching to Tony anymore. Last game on Monday that he started, he walked 4 times.
He must be looking at the pitcher's funny. He's scaring him.
And it's 3-0.
Last pitch was right in the Subaru strike zone. Pavetta didn't get much help.
Three and 2. And a bouncing ball to Hernandez. That'll end the inning. The Rockies got a triple from Trevor Story. Cargo followed with a fly ball to center. The Rockies have a 1-0 lead. We're off to the 3rd.
of the third, immediately following the win last night. All hands on deck to watch the Dodgers and Diamondback series taking place. Now, if you've never been to the underneath tunnels or the clubhouse here at Coors Field, there are televisions everywhere, and every single one of them was turned to that game. And how about the laundry room? Dinger checking out the game. That was pretty fun in the clubhouse. All the guys watching it. Diamondbacks walked off the Dodgers, and this is my favorite. How about this? Diamondbacks saying, "You're welcome, Rockies." The Rockies with pride cheers. Pretty fun to see all of the National League West come together against the Dodgers, guys.
Well, right now, all eyes are on German Marquez. If you're late to the party, folks, he's faced 6 Phillies, and he has struck them all out. Kingery check swing. It's 0-1. Kingery, Knapp, and Pivetta. That is right down the middle. It's 0-2. 23-year-old German Marquez. You know, he won't be 24, Spilly, until spring training of next year.
That's scary. Oh,
7 in a row. I mean, this is where you get the news flash on your phone if you're a sports fan. German Marquez has struck out the first 7. Since 1900, the major league record is 8.
And it's not even close right now.
Well, that's now a Rockies record. That's never been done before. 7 straight. John Gray the other day, I think, had 6. He's done it actually twice. Strike 1 on Knapp. Late time call.
Of course, Knapp's just trying to mess up the rhythm. Vermont's thrown 27 pitches, 22 for strikes.
Foul ball is in position again. 0-2.
And it's not like he's doing it with just one pitch. He's used all 4 of his pitches tonight. He used his slider already 4 times, his curveball 8.
0-2. Swung on and missed. That just tied the major league record since 1900. 8 in a row. And he can have the record by himself if he can get the pitcher Pivetta. The record he now shares with Jim Deshaies, our colleague who broadcasts the Cubs games, and Jacob deGrom. deGrom did it in 2014. Strike 1. That may have been off the plate, but Todd Tishner saying this is pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, everything he's throwing is a strike, so might as well call it a strike.
That is a swing. 0-2. 1 strike from the record. We don't usually talk about records in the 3rd inning. Everybody's standing at Coors Field. Here's the 0-2. He put it in play. Unbelievable. And then German guided it over there, and it'll be an error. How do you like that?
What just happened?
One of the ugliest swings you'll ever see. And Pivetta with a big smile on his face. And I don't know if anybody on the field realizes this was for a major league record. Wow. Well, start another streak. Hernandez at the plate. Ball 1. So again, he now shares the major league record since 1900 with Jim Deshaies and Jacob deGrom. And I'll tell you a quick story about the Deshaies outing. 2-0. Jim Deshaies was a rookie that year, and it was against the Dodgers. He struck out the first 8. Tommy Lasorda pinch hit for the pitcher, so he didn't strike out 9 in a row.
It's fitting that it was a pitcher that broke up the streak tonight then, Drew. Phillies didn't pinch hit for Nick Pivetta with 2 strikes.
Yeah.
Plain pepper with Herman
I wonder
in the
what
record book.
Yeah, I wonder if one day he's going to go, why didn't I just throw like 96?
Why didn't he just blow his doors off?
Right, exactly. Come on, he wasn't catching up.
Well, now he has to
You
settle
gotta
himself. Yeah.
Exactly. Refocus 3-1 on Hernandez. And he loses Hernandez. Well, still nobody else has been involved because Herman has struck out the first 8. The pitcher hit the comebacker, so only Herman had to be involved there. I guess Desi was trying to get involved and catch the baseball. And now a walk. And this is a good meeting at the mound for Tony. Those two not only work exceptionally well together, and they now are a thing, right? They work every game that Herman's on the mound, Tony's behind the plate, but they're really good friends.
And it makes a difference with how you can talk to a friend on a moment like this. Obviously disappointed that he committed that error, maybe a little upset that he had to refocus. It's not saying that other catchers can't talk to a pitcher as catcher and pitchers do, but there's a difference when you have a real close personal relationship with somebody.
And this will get it done. Nope, foul ball. Thought it was going to stay fair for a moment. 0-1 on Santana. Think back to your days, even in high school, UCSB, minor league baseball. You ever see a guy strike out 8 in a row to begin the game?
No.
You know, sometimes in high school you get a guy that's, you know, going to be drafted. You're facing a team that, you know, a high school team maybe not real talented. There's a strike, and you're going to see a lot of guys go down because one kid just overmatches everybody. That's what this has looked like.
Now he has to finish the drill for the second time in the inning.
Two strikes on Santana. The major league record for consecutive strikeouts is 10 in a row. That's anywhere in the game, obviously. This was to begin a game. Tom Seaver did it back in 1970. The American League record 9. Doug Fister, believe it or not, did it in 2012 when he was pitching for Detroit. Not a guy I would have picked to have the American League record.
No.
Clemens,
Randy
Johnson when he was in the American League.
Doug Fister went through a stretch with the Tigers and early with the Mariners where he was one of the best in baseball.
There's a new start of a streak. Pretty good when you have 9 strikeouts in 3 innings, 2 left aboard. pitching performance. Usually we do this late in the ball game. Brag on a Marquez start. They went 7 innings and he allowed 1 run, that sort of thing. But we have to do it right out of the gate. He struck out the first 8 batters tonight, which ties the modern-day major league record. And he was 0-2 on the pitcher. Pivetta hit a little comebacker. And now Marquez at the plate leading off in the 3rd. He got a standing ovation when he went off. During the commercial break, they announced to the crowd on Rocky's vision that he had set not only the Rockies record for most consecutive strikeouts in a game, but had tied the all-time major league record to start a game. That's something else, man.
1 strike away. So close.
Well, with his stuff, it's on the ground, is short to Kingery. It's hard to say you'll have another chance because I mean that's just crazy.
Yeah.
But with his stuff, there's going to be other special moments, shall we say.
To start off the game like that, with 8 consecutive strikeouts, and none of those at bats were close.
Not even close,
not
Billy.
even like
right?
not one quality swing in there. Not one. He was punching the guys away in 3 pitches.
Yeah, and he has a low pitch count. And if he had made the throw to first, he'd probably have like 30 pitches in the first 3 innings.
30 pitches with 8 punch-outs.
Charlie takes strike 1. He's now at 42 pitches, 32 of which were strikes. A lot of room in right center. 1 ball, 1 strike, and Charlie riding a career best 17-game hitting streak. Hernandez. Pivetta's kept the Rockies off balance a little bit, with the exception of Trevor Story, who tripled off the right field wall, was brought home on a cargo sack fly. Time for At the Dish, brought to you by Dish Network. Most 3-hit games since 2012. DJ last night had another one, so he has 90. And his buddy Charlie with 89. Andy Murphy next on that list. Freddie Freeman, Buster Posey. Real good names.
DJ already has a hit on the evening. Had one in the 1st inning. Maybe you'll have another 3-hit night tonight.
They have moved Cesar Hernandez a little bit more toward the first base side, but this is straight up infield defense, which DJ almost never sees. If you look at the spray chart, you wonder, why are they playing their defense like this? Well,
the Phillies came into today's game 9th in Major League Baseball with shifts. They had 1,321. Last year, they were 11th most. But we haven't seen them shift much this series, so you're kind of curious what's going on.
I locked him up a little bit. Good breaking ball, 2-2.
StatCast AI is powered by AWS, and there's the shift metrics. You can also understand why they had Hernandez up the middle 31% of the time. DJ hits a ball on the ground up the middle.
He has changed. I will say this. He didn't go. No swing.
Everybody was going off the field except for first base umpire Jim Reynolds.
Andrew Knapp really tried to sell it. I don't have any question that he held up. Yeah, it's closer than I thought. 3-2, take advantage. And it's gone. Well, Pivetta's throwing the baseball well. The Rockies have the 1-0 lead. German Marquez is throwing the baseball like he's from another planet.
Cards can be redeemed for game tickets and Rockies dugout stores or for merchandise and concessions at Coors Field.
When I wiggle that so you can't read it clearly, is that bothersome to you?
No, not at all. My eyes are usually wiggling anyways. it makes it so I can read it more clear.
Odubel Herrera batting third tonight for the Phillies will lead off in the 4th inning. Guess what he did his first time up?
Struck out.
Yeah. And a slider for strike 1. 9 strikeouts in the first 3 innings for German Marquez. On the ground to Desi. 1 out. That'll bring up Rhys Hoskins.
Pretty amazing the last 12 starts for German. He's pitched about 80 innings, and in those 80 innings has 107 strikeouts. Is that good?
Rather.
He's also 10 out of 12 tonight in first pitch strikes, and that's a huge difference. Whenever you're a hitter and you have somebody with the stuff that German has, if they jump ahead of you with 1 strike, now it's straight panic mode.
Again, it bears repeating, and you showed it graphically at the top of the broadcast tonight. Last year he threw his slider barely at all, 4% of the time. This year he's throwing it better than 16% of the time, and tonight it's probably higher than that. Just missed. 2-1. 97-mile-an-hour fastball.
Here's that stat again that you love, and you're right. I mean, 16% of the time is how much he's using his slider, and that is because of Tony Wolters. Tony really likes his slider.
Fastball's not bad, though.
Well, for Rhys Hoskins, he had a first pitch off-speed pitch, called for a strike. Second pitch was off-speed, third pitch off-speed, and then in a 2-1 hitter's count, he blows a fastball because he's looking for an off-speed. He's looking for the curveball or slider. Now you're done. You have no idea what's coming.
You got the slider that's in an unhittable location. That is 10 strikeouts. 6 times now in the last month and a half he has struck out 10 or more. The single season Rockies record is 7 by Pedro Estacio back in 2000. He just matched John Gray for 10 strikeout performances in a single season. John did it 2 years ago. There's Roman Quinn. Gets the attention of Nolan. He's already pretty close to the grass. Nolan came charging in.
German looks like MLB The Show when you put it on rookie. He's pitching like it's a video game right now. Must be nice when you have that type of stuff.
2-1. You know what this reminds me of? Go back to when I was in college, back in my New York days, and you were watching a young Doc Gooden, and the other team, you've seen all the highlights. The other team had no shot. It was 96 to 98. Up in the zone, and that Lord Charles curveball.
I don't like the number 10.
You're about to see 11, I think.
11's my lucky number.
Two. That's 98.
He's going after him. He's not pitching to contact. Got away with one. Center cut, Subaru strike zone. Sometimes when you try to make too good of a pitch, you can throw through the break.
This may be time he breaks out the changeup. 2-2.
He did break out the changeup, and Quinn had sped up his bat. Quinn's putting a battle together. Well, locate your fastball down and away, and you have him.
And this is easily the best at bat of the night for a Philly. And it's going to end with a base hit. That's the first hit tonight for Philadelphia. It comes with 2 outs in the 4th inning. It's a good AB by Roman Quinn.
It was a great at bat. He got a pitch up in the zone. Herman made a couple of mistakes. And the Subaru's Supermo. There's the 4-seam fastball. Also tell that Roman Quinn was choked up on the bat. Quinn 4 for 8 on the series. Came in to the series 0 for 18.
Dylan Cousins and a check on Quinn. Ball 1. Well, he swung late, didn't he? 1-1. Here's an interesting story about Cousins. We were, talking about him being a great high school football player last year, great high school football player, or baseball player as well, obviously down in Scottsdale. His dad was a big football star at Pitt in the 70s, and he was, after his senior year, drafted back when they had 17 rounds. Billy, he was drafted in the 17th round by the Denver Broncos.
Really?
Isn't that something? And he never played it down for the Broncos, but he was drafted by the Broncos. His dad, Randy.
I expect Roman Quinn to take a chance the next pitch or two to get to second base. It's an off-speed count to a hitter like Cousins that has a big swing.
He's going there, and it's a ground ball base hit. And Cousins will go to third.
They're going to wave him.
They're going to wave him home, and the throw to the plate is in. Timeout at the plate. Great throw from Story, and a great kick up at the plate and tagged by Tony Walters. The arm looked okay there. What a job by Walters. Look at this pickup.
The ball beats him, so there's no way that you can complain that he's in.
Roman Quinn can fly. I thought that Dusty Wathan may do this. I mean, Philadelphia needs a lift. They've lost 6 in a row. There's no way that can get turned around. I mean, they're going to review it.
Well, I can understand Gabe Kapler's position. You're trying to get some sort of offense.
He has a right to field the baseball.
Well, it beat him by a large margin, so you're allowed to come in to field the baseball and protect it.
He moved to field the baseball and applies the tag.
The Rockies, it wasn't like they were caught napping. It wasn't that situation at all. Quinn's running on the play. He flies. And Cargo getting the throw into second base on a hurry. Any one of those throws, if it was a hiccup, Quinn scores.
To me, if they turn this around, that'd be like the flags the NFL's been throwing on Clay Matthews for sacking the quarterback. There's nothing wrong with that play.
He's out of going.
As it should be. So the Rockies off the field on that wonderful relay from Story to Tony Walters. 1-0 Colorado. Leading 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning, and David Dahl will lead it off for Colorado against Nick Pivetta, who is throwing the ball very well. He's just been overshadowed by what Marquez has done. David popped out his first time, and he's got a 2-0 count.
Second time through the lineup for Pivetta, you see the batting average jump up about 50 points.
Way outside. It's 3-0 on David.
Well, the Phillies have been very protective of their young arms. We look at their rotation. There are several guys that are under the age of 26, much like the Rockies. But before today's start, Gabe Kapler said he's going to let Pivetta go.
3-0's in there, sort of.
Pivetta over the last 4 starts has only thrown 18 1/3.
Came in with a 16+ ERA against the Rockies in 2 starts. 7 2/3, 14 runs, 16 hits allowed. So been much better already than that. 3-2 on David. And the only guy in their rotation over the age of 26 is Jake Arrieta, who the Rockies will see tomorrow. Good life on his fastball.
Stat for the Phillies pitching staff is that they've collected 957 2/3 innings from pitchers aged 26 or younger. That's the second highest total of any team in Major League Baseball. The Pirates are number 1.
And a walk. He went off speed. David saw it. And he's at first to lead off here the 4th inning, and now his speed becomes a factor. One of the other tools he brings to the yard.
MLB At Bat is your #1 Rockies app. Customize your experience and catch every moment this season. Get Rockies home screen icons and features such as MLB.TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, stats, news, and more. Down MLB At Bat today.
David, 5 out of 7 swiping bags. Nolan struck out his first time up. What kind of adjustments the Rockies offense makes here second time through against Pivetta. Pitch for Team Canada, the WBC.
There's been good pitchers that have come out of Canada. Jeff Francis, the Big Maple, James Paxton of the Seattle Mariners, Pivetta.
Great nickname too, the Big Maple.
Isn't that great?
Boomer.
Oh, Boomer.
Boomer may be looking in tonight from London, Ontario. And now it's a 2-0 count on Nolan. Dahl's best season in the minors. He swiped 22 bags with New Britain in 2015. It was a year before the AA affiliate became Hartford.
Curious to see how Nolan takes this 2-0 pitch. He's been a little aggressive, a little jumpy. Now he's in the driver's seat.
That's pretty good. Line shot left field. Now the Rockies have something going. Leading 1-0. The first 2 have reached here, with Trevor coming up in the 4th.
Love that at bat from Nolan. Let's revisit the throw from Trevor, the relay from Cargo to get Roman Quinn at home plate, the bang-bang play that ended the 4th inning. So as Cargo's rounding, he's thinking maybe Cousins is going to go to second base on a double, but look at the exchange of the arm strength. 0.9 seconds, throws about 90 miles an hour from second base to home. If we were ever questioning whether Trevor's arm was okay, I think it just proved it's just fine.
You know, Spilly, we're talking about the great pickup that obviously Tony had. Pretty good pickup on the throw from Cargo. with the backhand, and then he had to flip around 180 degrees by Story. Ball one on Trevor. So each of the first 3 hitters here in the fourth, Pivetta has fallen behind. Story hitting .391 against Phillies pitching this year.
Well, runners on, hitters are hitting .308 versus .225 with nobody on against Pivetta.
One ball towards second. Story's got to get up the line, and it's a double play. 6-4-3. That was tailor-made. That's about the only way you're going to be able to double up Story. So Cargo with 2 outs will have Dahl at third. Cargo had a sac fly to drive in the Rockies' lone run in the second. Cargo in the last 24 hours has moved into 4th place on the all-time Rockies RBI list by himself. Past his good friend Vinny Castillo, who's a special assistant. Vinny was with the club. He'll do that periodically on the road. He's at every home game, but he was down in Arizona over the weekend. Brought some good luck, didn't he?
Needed that sweep. They got it.
2-0 on Cargo. Now you are looking closely at the lift and the body turn on those 2 takes. What did you see?
I'm okay with it. He's still drifting a little bit towards the left center side. You want to see his body for Cargo moving straight towards the pitcher. But he's in a good spot. I mean, those are pitches he's taking right on the edge.
3-0. Desmond on deck.
We all know if Cargo gets locked in those last couple days, look out. You want to lengthen out a lineup. If Cargo is hitting, that is frightening.
We were talking to Matt Holliday for a while today around the batting cage, and Cargo happened to be in there and touching on various topics. And he said, listen, he said, not only does the club need him, he said he's getting himself in a good place, and he has that rare ability. To your point, and we all know he can literally carry a club. He can still do it. We haven't seen it nearly as frequently as we did a few years ago. And he hasn't been right yet in September, but he made some strides last night with that bullet double with the bases loaded.
Yeah, there's no question. If Cargo gets locked in, he's must watch every at bat because he can do something special.
And it doesn't matter, you know this, Billy, from playing for so long. It doesn't matter where a guy is in terms of if he's hot or in a slump. When he walks to the plate, the other dugout is aware.
We've noticed a lot of teams. Last night, Cargo struck out on a curveball, slow curveball. We saw Greinke in Arizona a week ago. Big, slow curveball. Right there, Pivetta going to his 3rd best pitch, which is his curveball, and try to take something off of it.
Three and 2 on Cargo. Dahl at third, 2 outs in the Rockies' 4th. And this is hit hard at Hoskins. Late break by Pivetta. Cargo called out. We're going to take a look at this. Pivetta got a late break. And now they say safe. Didn't it look like he punched him out?
I think he did a punch to the safe. Let's take a look in the Subaru Supermo. Cargo's foot's in front. Yep.
Cargo's got his foot down. And watch first base umpire
He's
Jim
going
Reynolds.
for the punch, and he's safe.
And that was huge. What great hustle by Cargo. It produces a run.
You gotta love Major League umpires. You don't think this game's difficult? I mean,
He was all wound up.
he was wound up.
Watch Cargo. And the only way he's safe, even though it's a bullet, is by going hard right away.
I mean, we have to watch this thing in super slow-mo to be able to get the call right. These guys are watching it in real time.
So an infield hit. Cargo's driven in both runs, and the Rockies lead 2-0. 15th infield hit this year for Cargo, second to Trevor on the club. Here's Desmond. Let's see what happened to Pavetta here. Right side ground ball. You're taught you break immediately.
Well, it took one step. That's all Cargo needed to beat it.
That's a great view of it. And as you said, all it takes is a little hesitation. I give Cargo a ton of credit because, Billy, you know, a lot of times, especially for a left-handed hitter, you hit a hard shot, but it's right at an infielder and it's got a big hop to it. You figure, okay. And you give it the three-quarter kind of perfunctory, I'll make it look decent. He went hard from Jump Street, almost like a little squibber up the third base line.
Hitters can tell just based on where, and he hit that ball hard. Hoskins made a good backhanded play, but he also fielded it deep on the infield dirt. And so a hitter sees that, and they know, it's like, hey, he can't beat me in a foot race.
Desmond chases out of the zone. That'll end the inning. But the Rockies do carve out another run on the hustle play by Gonzalez. 2-0. The Subaru and Subaru by Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo customers, get your 2-for-1 Rockies club level tickets by visiting wellsfargo.com/Rockies and buy UC Health. Live extraordinary. Rockies up 2-0 with Ryan Spilborghs and Taylor McGregor, who I have no idea where she is in the park these days. I'm Drew Goodman.
Get her to start changing some of the numbers in the auxiliary scoreboard.
0-1 on Scott Kingery.
Dodgers already jumped on top of Zach Greinke. Dodgers 1, Arizona 0. First inning.
It's all right. Started that way last night. Ended well. Eduardo Escobar went from the Rockies perspective, the doghouse to the penthouse.
I like from zero to
look
hero.
who we found.
I know. Hi, Taylor.
Our intrepid reporter.
And the annoying reporter who just stands around.
No, no, no.
I just wanted to
annoying.
learn something from you guys because you're so knowledgeable. All these sticky notes.
Oh my goodness, was that dripping with sarcasm?
I'll tell you who I'm really trying to learn from later.
It's like a private conversation. We can't share this with the
Maybe.
thousands watching.
Maybe no.
2-1 the count on Scott Kingery. And that's a line drive base hit to right. Cargo will throw it back in. A lead single for Kingery. Taylor.
All right, guys, it's time for UC Health Rocky Routine. The unsung hero in the AT&T Sportsnet crew, this man right here, Doug Marino. He puts in so much work, 3 hours of preparation before he even gets to the ballpark. And then during the entire broadcast, I know you think Drew and Philly are really, really smart, but it's honestly these color-coded sticky notes that Dougie puts together, hands them to the broadcasters throughout the game. And that is how the good stuff is recorded. But tonight, you're usually on top of kind of what's happening. I don't think you predicted those 8 straight Ks by Herman, did you?
No, you can't really prepare for something like that. But for me, that's what I'm waiting for. That's the best thing that could happen for me. That's so exciting. I get to look something up that is a major league record, and I get first crack at it. I look it up. I find out what's going on. I give Drew the information, and he tells the world.
So you're basically Drew's brain. Is that fair?
You don't want to be my brain. You don't want to be in that neighborhood.
No.
The
You
doctor.
don't want to be in that
Dr.
neighborhood.
Goodman.
There's a lot of notes because Doug and I have been working together for a long time, football and basketball also. There's a lot of notes that Doug will hand me, and I will frisbee them out the window and look at him and say, really, you go say this.
Dougie, can you throw
Like the negative one,
throw a
so-and-so
note,
is
throw a
2
note,
for
say-
their last 35. I say, you go say that.
That's
Not
what we
saying
see all
that.
the time. Did you see that thing? Dougie will
Yeah.
throw these notes, and they land perfectly on my desk.
It's all on the wrist.
It's not like we don't do our own research also now.
Well, we spend a lot of time, but Doug makes it a
But
lot easier for
I'll tell
us.
you what, Doug's the bet. Honestly, not hyperbole here. This should be a double play. Take yourself, Trev. And now, grounds into 2 outs. Doug is unequivocally the best in the business. And Doug works in the postseason also for the networks. That's how well thought of he is. So we're really fortunate to have him.
Why don't you
And,
show
we're like two brothers.
Taylor, that's
he
your
and I,
note.
'cause
This is my note?
Yeah, read
brothers from a different mother.
Read what Doug
I
just
got a
handed
note.
me.
So, courtesy of Doug Marino,
He
that
just
was the
handed-
156th double play that the Rockies just turned, which is 1 ahead of San Francisco for the National League lead. Sam's so smart.
You are.
Wow,
See
it's
that?
amazing what happens.
Uh-huh. You're giving away all the trade secrets now. Scram.
My favorite story, didn't one of the players come up to you one time and legitimately thought you just knew all these stats off the top of your head?
I told him absolutely the truth.
While I'm studying to get my MD.
This is also what's happened. Doug will be going through an airport now, and he's signing autographs these days. He actually is a featured. Aren't you like a speaker coming up to the Sabermetric get-together?
I have a sticky note about that too.
Denver Saber Society. Doug, no, that's November 3rd. You can hear Doug. All right.
People still don't like hearing your voice, though. We like you being.
He's getting like 10 grand an appearance now. For our CenturyLink high-speed challenge, go to AT&T Sportsnet RM and you can cast your vote just like that. Those folks, they're not looking at text or Instagram, they're casting votes. This is a great question. How do you watch meaningful September baseball, as in this week? Multi-screen viewing. You only watch the Rockies, or you got the Rockies going, you got your phone checking the scores of other ball games. Tony leading things off in the bottom of the 5th inning with the Rockies up 2-0. Tony grounded the second his first time up. Herman will follow, and then Charlie Blackmon. Well, we'll tell you that Milwaukee now in the 8th inning leads St. Louis 2-1. And we didn't have an opportunity to mention this earlier. You know who's helping out the Rockies tonight? Former Rocky, former teammate of yours, and all-around great guy, Jhoulys Chacín, who's had a really fine year for Milwaukee this season.
He really has, and he was somebody that, look, I saw him pitch his last year with the Colorado Rockies in that spring training, and I thought he was done. He was one of my teammates. His shoulder was done. The velocity wasn't there. The slider wasn't as sharp, and he rehabbed himself. He got the arm back in great shape. Pitched extremely well with the Padres. And look at what he's doing this year with the Milwaukee Brewers. His slider still ranks as one of the best right-handed sliders in the game.
3-1 on Tony. Yeah, it's a wipeout slider.
Wipeout slider.
And he was brilliant tonight. And now they have Josh Hader in the ball game. So again, it's 2-1 Milwaukee over St. Louis. Now LA got that quick run against Greinke, so they're up 1-0 in the first against the Diamondbacks. On Tony, and a walk. Tony continues to draw his walks. The Rockies have the leadoff man on again, and Herman off camera just got a slap on the backside from Charlie Blackmon, so go get that bunt down or something along those lines.
Get the bunt down.
Rockies are trying to build another run here. Thought about it.
I wish he would have thrown it. Phillies 979 fielding percentage. That's the lowest mark by a Phillies team since 1994.
You know what I like? I like when guys get the sack bunt down without any drama, like 2 foul balls, and they get it down the 3rd time. He consistently, you know, not only swings the bat well, but he usually gets that bunt down right away.
Well, and we've seen some pretty important bunt situations for the Rockies where we've seen some pinch hitters try to put it down and they haven't been able to do it. Saw Chris Russell throw a really good bunt 2 nights ago. That was important. Kyle Freeland's been excellent with his bunts.
Pat Valaika is really good at getting bunts down. So Marquez doing a little everything tonight. Actually, he's doing a little bit offensively to help out. He's doing a whole lot on the other side of things. The thing he's paid to do most. Throw up zeros. Big swing and a miss. 0-1 on Charlie. 0 for 2 tonight. 2 ground balls to the right side. Ribby out there for Charlie. He's driven in 66.
Well, Pivetta, he hasn't matched Herman with the strikeouts, but he has matched Herman with being efficient. He's held these Rockies to just 2 runs. And it came with a little help.
And this is to Hernandez. 2 outs. Tony to 3rd. See if DJ can come through.
If you have ever dreamed of becoming a Rocky, sign up for Fantasy Camp now, taking place at Salt River Fields at Talking Stick, January 28th through February 1st, 2019. Visit Rockies.com/fantasycamp for details.
You and Huey will be there. Georgie hopefully will be back this year. Georgie unfortunately had another commitment last year, but George is normally there as the commissioner. It is too much fun. I mean, it's a week of laughs.
It's a blast. Garrett Atkins, I'm assuming he's going to be there. Josh Fogg, Brian Fuentes, Corey Sullivan.
That's right, Sully's there every year.
It's a great time.
It's the best. There's never been somebody who went to fantasy camp that said, I'm not coming back next year. I had a bad time.
Start drinking water now if you are signing up.
1-0 on DJ, way outside. So Eduardo Escobar last night is on third base, and there's a wild pitch thrown that gets away. Billy Hamilton would have got 3 bases on this, and Escobar with a lefty on the mound.
2 outs.
2 outs. 2. Horrible lead, terrible secondary lead, and poor instincts, and didn't move up and score that extra one. It would have made it 4-2.
And that was huge for this Diamondbacks team that has been struggling with the bullpen. Talking about 0 margin for error, that's been the bullpen of the Diamondbacks for the last month.
And then
And that could have used it.
Yeah, Boxberger ended up giving up the equalizer in the top of the 9th. That's low. Escobar would come up and hit it out to lead off the bottom of the 9th. I was watching with Gabe, one of my boys, and one of his buddies in the booth. We didn't leave till like 5 after 11, and I was screaming at the television like all Rockies fans when he didn't score on that. I mean, Austin Barnes literally was out of breath. He had to run so far to get the baseball, and then he came through. That's a walk, and that'll bring up Dahl. That's not a pitch around, because that's right on right.
No, it's not a pitch around. Just lost a little bit of mechanics and lost a little bit of command. This is where David Dahl's hurt the Phillies in the last couple days. 3-run homer.
He's had the back-breaking kind of home run, hasn't he? 3 walks allowed by Pivetta. This pitch will be his 80th as he works here in the 5th inning.
And this is where it gets exposed at Coors Field. If you give free bases to the Rockies, or to any team for that matter, the runs will come around. There's a walk in the 4th inning, leadoff walk to Dahl. Came around to score on that Cargo infield single in the 4th.
Rick Kranitz decides that he wanted to join the conversation. And there's the update in St. Louis, 2-1 Milwaukee.
David Dahl's been in a great place offensively. His last 15 starts, 18 RBIs.
That's all in the month of September. Victor Arano has gotten up for the Phillies. And Yelich, I think, sealed the MVP with what he's done the last couple of weeks. He's had 28 ribbies in September.
And there's still a chance for Nolan or Trevor the last 5 games, but you better do something remarkable.
Strike on Dahl.
Well, yeah, to your point, Drew, if the Brewers win tonight, they clinch a playoff spot. And they're not in that spot without Christian Yelich. It's still a team-based award for me, in my opinion, the MVP. And it's unfortunate that I still attach team success rates on that award, but I do. I can't help it.
I'm with you, though. 2 strikes on David.
It doesn't mean a team that falls just out of the playoffs, you can't have a player that's MVP worthy. I just can't give an MVP award to a player on a last place team.
It's happened. I think Andre Dawson,
Alex Rodriguez.
But I'm with you, and you know far better than I would as a player that it's different at bats when you're in it. This ball is clubbed to deep center field. Long run for Quinn. It is.
Are you kidding me?
He did it again. 3-run jack David Dahl. Home run Monday. Home run Tuesday. Home run Wednesday. This one on an 0-2 pitch.
All 3 of the homers, Drew, 2 strikes. All 3 of them. This one actually went far. Last 2 were hit down the left field line. This one, 2 strikes. Pivetta looking to just blow a fastball past David. We've noticed this. Dahl, for a left-handed batter, handles the high fastball better than anybody. Typically, a lefty likes the ball down and in. Dahl likes the ball up.
Wow. Nolan drives it down the left field line. Long road for Cousins. He'll have to field it in the corner. And Nolan has yet another double. That's his 36th of the year.
Well, the Rockies have made the Phillies pay for the 2 walks this inning, and Nolan gets a hanging curveball. He's not waiting on the Subaru Super Mode. Back-to-back singles for hits for Nolan. 2 extra rounds of batting practice is starting to pay off for Nolan.
The Rockies run off Nick Pivetta here in the 5th, who really was throwing the ball very well. To you by Mako. Guess what? Monday night, home run, David Dahl. Last night, almost the same spot. This is a 3-run home run, wiped out a 1-0 deficit. Tonight, the Rockies, tight game, up 2-0, 2 outs, 0-2 pitch. He goes dead central. First time in his young career he's hit a home run in 3 straight. 13 jacks now for Dahl. Got 42 RBIs. He's got 21 ribbies in the month of September.
And he finds himself comfortably sitting in the Rockies' middle of the lineup.
And guess where he'll be tomorrow?
He's going to be hitting 3rd.
Yes, he will. Story at the plate. Trevor a triple in the 2nd and would score on a sac fly by Cargo. He's got Nolan in scoring position. And Victor Arano's first pitch is low, ball 1. 59th appearance for Arano. They have run a lot of guys out of that bullpen in deep left center field, right center field. 4 yesterday, 4 on Monday.
Their bullpen is very difficult to hit. And they have arms that they can roll out there and they can match up. And they have earlier in the season when they were on the roll, when they were 15 games over 500. About 8 arms that they were mixing and matching at different places because they have guys that have earned saves throughout the year. They really don't look at it the same way, the typical way of prototypical setup man, closer.
This ball crushed. Take a good look. You won't see it for long. Up on the concourse. He wanted a Heltenberger. Make it 7-0 Colorado. Burgers and tacos for everybody.
There you go. He wants tacos. He doesn't want a burger.
Minding your own business. You're trying to get a Heltenberger. Enjoy the ball game. Somebody says incoming.
What a 34th home run of the season for Trevor Story.
Cargo at the plate. He drove in the first 2 runs tonight. This is worthy of several more looks. I like the bat flip. Ties Nolan for the club lead with 34 home runs. 2-0. That thing was crushed. Matt Carpenter more home runs in the league. And that's a base hit right center field. Odubel Herrera is going to cut it off. Cargo searching for 2, and he's got himself a double. They're not letting the foot off the gas. Wasn't that one of your keys?
That is the key. Do not let up. Cargo getting in the mix. Second hit of the night for Cargo.
You're up 7-0. You can cruise around first. I'm going to take a single. Cargo said, He was watching Herrera go to the baseball. He said, I can get 2 here.
Well, look at where Cargo's leg kick is now. It's going straight up and down. It's putting him in a much better hitting position. You see the ball driving through towards the pitcher. That's how you want your weight to transfer. And for Cargo, he's not going to let up. Cargo hasn't had an opportunity to play of late. He's been relegated to pinch hitting duties. He wants a chance to play. If you're a competitor and you have a chance, especially with this group of guys starting to play quality baseball to the level that they're at right now, you want to be part of that division push.
Desi drives this ball to center field and deep. Quinn going back, looking up, gone! Ian Desmond, a 2-run shot. And the Rockies are piling it on now. And Blake shaking all the Lodo right now. 21st big fly of the year for Desmond.
All this with 2 outs.
And that's the first home run for Desi since August the 23rd. Just his 3rd home run after the All-Star break. It was 2-0 15 minutes ago when the inning started.
How scary is that? Other teams are watching, and they know how good the Rockies play at Coors Field. The unfortunate part is they also know how good this Rockies team, setting a franchise record of wins of 44 on the road. And now they're starting to get all their guys swinging the bat at the same time.
You know, just like all the Rockies fans, and Buddy Black was saying, he checks, every 30 seconds at the scoreboard, checks on the Dodgers game and the Cardinals game. Well, they're doing the same thing in those cities. And the Dodgers players, they're looking up at the scoreboard. They're saying, oh, my goodness, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah, what just happened?
Again? And the same thing at Busch Stadium in St. Louis, where it's in the 9th inning and Milwaukee continues to lead 2-1. Dodgers have a 2-0 second inning lead in Arizona. And Tony takes a pitch low, 1-2.
Tony led off this inning with a walk.
Two and two. So this is how this inning's gone. DJ with 2 outs draws a walk. And then 3-run home run David Dahl, double Nolan Arenado, 2-run home run Trevor Story, double Cargo, 2-run home run Desi.
2-strike home run David Dahl. That's how close it was to getting out of it. 0-2. Like they say in the movie Anchorman, well, That escalated quickly.
Yes, it did. Speaking of San Diego, Tony Walters from San Diego, and that's line foul. Nothing Colorado. Three and two. Everybody gets tacos, folks. The Rockies have hit the magic number again. Don't forget to go to your participating Taco Bell location tomorrow between 4 and 6 to get your Rockies taco special at Mas at Taco Bell. Here's what you do. Come out to the ball game tomorrow. Afternoon affair. On your way home after another Rockies win. Collect. There's another walk for Tony. I can think of another nickname, but I'm not going to say it. Instead of Tony Three Bags.
Tony Ball 4.
Yeah.
Trevor Story hit
A little different from that, but
yeah,
you get the picture.
You get it. 107 miles an hour off the bat for his home run. Ian Desmond, by the way. 107 miles an hour off the bat of Ian Desmond's home run. They went toe to toe in velocity.
That ball that Story hit, Spilly, you know, he has a 500 2-foot jack this year, the longest in the StatCast era. The one he hit a few minutes ago, 465.
How is that possible that there's a ball hit up there 40 feet past where that last ball landed?
2 strikes on Herman. Matt Holliday in batting practice today. In left center field, the lower portion of the scoreboard right now has a big Coca-Cola sign on it. Matt almost hit that. There's another base hit for Marquez. Tony's going to go first to third. Rockies evidently not done yet here in the 5th inning.
There's no reason to be. It's the 5th inning. You keep piling it on. You play your game. That ball's hit to Quinn's left. Excuse me, to Cousins' left. This is natural. It's 2 outs. You cannot look at the scoreboard. You play this game straight up. Vermont's going to win a Silver Slugger, too.
They win it tonight.
He's done it all.
Another pitching change. The Rockies up 9-0.
keeping my eyes on the other games around the league, but I wanted to talk about the long ball because we just saw the Rockies go deep 3 different times. Last night, Bud Black, when talking about his offense, says he thinks this team's getting better, but there's still something he would like to see more, and that is, he said, the home run. He just said, I believe these guys can hit it out more. And coming into the game today, the team had 190 homers, which is 11th in Major League Baseball. Now, you might be thinking 11th, that's not too bad, but considering that in 2014, this team was first in the National League, there was room for improvement, and we certainly saw that in that inning. I'm excited to talk to Buddy about that after the game. Guys.
There'll be a lot to talk to Buddy about, but right now you're in the scoreboard, so you missed it because it was just to your left, and the crowd erupted. They put it up on the Rockies' vision. The Diamondbacks have just caught the Dodgers in the second. It's 2-2. Oh, there is nothing like playoff chase baseball in the waning days of the season. Nothing better.
Especially when your hometown team
is kicking butt.
Is hitting their stride.
2 strikes. Adam Morgan working to Charlie. And Charlie rolls it to Hernandez. He's going to get at least one more at bat. He's 0 for 4 tonight. Has a 17-game hitting streak. Rockies haven't needed Charlie this evening. They've gotten a lot out of David Dahl and friends. Your basic 7-run 5th inning. 9-0 Colorado. Operating the scoreboard. It is now a final in St. Louis. The Brewers have taken down the Cardinals again. So if the Rockies can hang on to their 9-0 lead, there'll be a game and a half up in the wild card chase. And the Brewers have clinched a playoff spot with that victory as well. So they'll be partying on the visitor side at Busch Stadium tonight. And we got to go back to the scoreboard. You know, I feel like I'm running Election Central.
I know, this is great.
Billy.
Put it up, Taylor. Come on.
Now move. Yeah, can we got a pan right here. Arizona and LA. That's going to change because we've had some returns from some of the outlying districts.
Here we go. Just listen to the crowd, Taylor.
3-2 Diamondbacks. Early though. Early returns.
That's awesome.
We will tell you if that one holds up and this one holds up, the Rockies would move into first place again in the NL West. How much fun is this?
Yeah, I just got goosebumps just thinking about that.
And Herman hits the strike zone there against the leadoff man, the second baseman, Cesar Hernandez. Hernandez, a strikeout and a walk. Herman struck out the first 8 batters tonight, which tied a major league record. And this is a hard shot at Nolan. He's equal to the task. Long throw. Perfect.
Nolan gets a good backhand, tough play for him because he has to go down to his knee. And notice how he looks the baseball, tries to get as far behind his glove as possible so he can see it in. Reaction from Nolan. Loves it. Let's go.
1 out. Santana has struck out twice. Fastballs away.
You just look at the Rockies' body language, Drew. It's starting to come together. They can smell it. And as a group, when you start playing the quality of baseball down the stretch, knowing where you are, you see there's a little hop in the guy's step. Tony Walter just tried to make that play behind home plate. That ball is a foul ball.
Right. But everybody's...
They're ready to go through a wall right now.
Exactly. This is interesting. Buddy's watching Herman absolutely dominate. It is Wednesday night. If you didn't need a reminder. The Rockies have obviously now a very large lead. Herman's thrown 78 pitches. If Sunday is of huge importance, you could bring Herman back. I just missed on short rest. And the reason I'm bringing this all up is with the big lead, do you go get Herman after this inning instead of having him throw 100 or 105 and maybe it's just 85?
Yeah, you do. Because you're trusting your offense right now. The offense is starting to fire away. You know that you're going to build up. You still have 9 more outs to play with. You're going to say, okay, offense, let's go bullpen. You've been one of the best in September. Let's take a little bit of the pressure off Herman.
Just in case.
Just in case. You have to start looking ahead. And you don't want to look ahead past this inning. But from the manager's perspective, yes.
And you wouldn't even think about it, you know, if it was 4-0, even if it was, you know, 6-0, you may say, listen, this guy's throwing up zeros. I'm not going to mess. It's 9-0. And I know Buddy is looking at that game Sunday because the starter, that's right at DJ, the starter last night, as you know, was Johnny Holstaff. On Sunday, you know, everybody could potentially be involved, but if you were to bring back Herman on short rest because Sunday is of grand importance, you may want to limit what he's got going here tonight.
It's definitely going to be a conversation between Steve Foster and Bud Black. And
he's at 82 pitches. He's got 2 outs here in the 6th. Here's Odubel Herrera, the right fielder.
if you talk to starters, they'll tell you there's not a large difference in effort, especially in a game like tonight where it's 9-0. That extra 17 pitches, that extra 20 pitches, it doesn't seem like much, but it's also a mental, just come off of it a little bit, take a deep breath, prepare yourself. It really, look, 15 pitches in the grand scheme of things, not a big deal. But yes, it does help the legs, helps the mind, refocuses the group.
Two strikes. Seems like Philly's been in an 0-2 count all night. And a ground ball toward Nolan. Tough hop. He handles it. And a perfect 1-2-3 inning. He's in the mid-80s in pitches. We'll see. The Rockies dominating again. They're up 9-0. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. What a night again for Colorado. Looking for their 6th straight victory. They're well on their way. They're up 9-0 as they bat here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And DJ bounces this to short. Kingery will throw him out. And we were studying the dugout on Marquez during the commercial break. A lot of guys came by and congratulated him, but there was no official congratulations from Buddy Black. So it looks like Herman's going to go back out there in the 7th. But you never know, because Buddy's sitting there next to Steve Foster. The strongest indication he's going to go back out there, nobody's gotten up right now.
Right.
And somebody would have gotten up around this point. So he's going to go back out. Adam Morgan with strike 1 on David Dahl. David tonight popped to short, walked and scored in the 4th. Ultimately on a base hit by Cargo, and then hit a 0-2 pitch for a 3-run jack in the 5th inning. 3 home runs and 3 ball games in this series against Philadelphia.
These are the bats that are going to be important for David Dahl, left on left. He's improved so much. Keeping that shoulder in. It's the same progression that Charlie Blackmon had.
And let's say he went around, so David's gone. 2 outs.
But for a lefty, when you're starting to get those everyday at bats, and for David, it's worked out nicely that the Philadelphia Phillies don't have a lefty starter. So he's getting all right. But from the left-handed bat that's turning into an everyday player, it's those at bats against lefties. Those are reliever at bats. You have to force that shoulder and that hip to stay closed. Otherwise, you're not going to hit. And you'll get pinch hit for late in the game against a tough lefty. You don't want to do that.
Nolan's had a nice ball game. Sharp single to left, and then he pulled a double to the left field corner. He's 2 out of 3.
The Diamondbacks have the bases loaded in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Dave Roberts already pulling out. Ross Stripling, bases loaded. Paul Goldschmidt coming on. Love to see him run into one.
Yeah, he's kind of been slumping lately, which means he is due. It's really weird. Paul's not had a good year at Chase Field, which is a great place to pitch. And you know, we're watching the Dodger broadcast. This ball's going to go foul. And the Dodger broadcast now during the pitching change is showing highlights of Marquez mowing down the first 8. And they flashed the scoreboard that indicates the Rockies are up 9-0. You don't think there's heat on the Dodgers right now, and they're feeling it. Cardinals already lost 2-1 at home to Milwaukee. And that's going to end the inning. So Morgan with a 1-2-3 6th inning. We go to the 7th. The Rockies up 9-6. This look back with a hop out of the dugout. Marquez took the baseball tonight, and he didn't let the Phillies hit the baseball though. I mean, no one had a shot. Struck out the first 8 batters, and on an 0-2 pitch to the opposing pitcher Nick Pivetta, somehow on a check swing, he got the ball and played a curveball right back at Herman, and Herman kind of lobbed it to first, and actually it short hopped Ian Desmond, and it went as an error. He struck out 9 in the first 3 innings. He's sitting on 10 strikeouts right now as he works to Hoskins, and it's 2-0. 4, 5, and 6 for Philadelphia. 87 pitches in for the 23-year-old from Venezuela, Herman Marquez. That was a changeup, 2-0.
Rhys Hoskins looking at the scoreboard. It's 9-0, 2-0 count. He's expecting the big fastball, and he gets an off-speed pitch. Rockies are not giving in for anything right now.
A little giddy up on that heater still. He's been as high on multiple occasions as 98 tonight. Pitching coaches will tell you, and Buddy's mentioned this many times, Herman, real simple mechanics, free and easy with the delivery. And he gets strikeout number 11 on Hoskins. He's gotten him 3 times tonight. And that's a talented young hitter.
Herman wasn't going to give Hoskins an opportunity to drive a ball 500 feet.
Roman Quinn has one of the 3 hits tonight. He gets a curveball.
11 strikeouts on the night now, but Drew, think about this. Not one fly ball to the outfield.
That's why right now we'll show a shot of it. All 3 outfielders for the Rockies are sitting down.
In center field, yeah, they're reading storybooks to each other.
They're picking dandelions. Oh, they just got up. 3-0. Well, Herman's doing his part tonight from a major league record standpoint. For the 11th straight year, the strikeout total in Major League Baseball is going to be higher than the previous year and set another major league record. 2 gone. So they're closing in on 40,000 strikeouts with a few days left in the season.
To me, it's a bunch of different variables. It's not just the hitters aren't changing their swing or they're trying to hit home runs. It's a mixture of velocity. It's a mixture of, we're seeing more sliders now than there's ever been thrown. There's more sliders being thrown this year than there are 2-seam fastballs. And a couple of years ago, it was all 2-seamers and sliders, and that's a pretty big change.
I can't tell you how good that slider is. A pitch that was barely utilized a year ago by Marquez, and now it's an elite level slider.
Yeah, he's about to get him with it again.
You know what's a lot of fun? Not only for all of us watching this, it's a lot of fun if you're a catcher. If you're Tony Walters and you're putting down, you know, whatever digit you put down, it's going to be really, really tough to hit. And then the command is improved, so you put the glove in a certain spot and the baseball shows up there.
You have average fastball velocity is creeped up. You have starters like Herman that are touching 98 with 3 pitches.
Deep in the game.
Deep in the game. Of course the strikeouts are going to be out.
That was 98, folks. That fastball on the 100th pitch of the night.
And yes, Doug Marino's doing launch angle to me right now too. Yes, some of those hitters do have bad swings.
Broken bat. Nolan spins and he'll throw out Dylan Cousins. What a night. What an absolutely beautiful performance by 23-year-old Herman Marquez. 7 shutout at Coors Field, the offensive palace. Congratulating Herman Marquez. This is a different Rockies team. Go back to the World Series team of '07, headlined by Jeff Francis among the rotation. Jeff had a beautiful 2007. You know, Baldo in 2009, 2010 headlined that staff. You know, Jason Marquis had a great first half in '09. As Trevor steps up, this Rockies team, and I don't know if the rest of Major League Baseball fans realize this. That's a base hit up the middle for Trevor. So he's got a 3-hit night. He just needs a double for the cycle. He already got the triple out of the way in the second and the home run in the 5th. But Spilly, this group is different. Because everybody's gonna think, oh, the Rockies, they're gonna outslug you, right? They win all these games at Coors Field. Another 144 on the road, and they have at the top of their rotation 2 guys who are throwing the baseball as well as just about anybody in the sport.
You have one pitcher that is finally in the national conversation for Cy Young. We haven't had that before. We had Baldo back in 2010, but it was a nice story for the first half, but it wasn't what it is right now with Kyle. And Herman just set a franchise record in strikeouts in a season in about 190 innings pitched, which is about 30 less than Ubaldo did.
Would you not like your chances in a series if you open up with the combination of Freeland and Marquez and Freeland, however you want to do it?
And that, and the fact that Senzatello's been pitching extremely well. John Gray just showed up on Monday. Look out.
That's what I'm saying.
You have a bullpen that's pitching as well as they've had all year.
As well as any bullpen in September in Major League Baseball, and the numbers support that statement.
You're getting closer. I mean, this team ends up winning a division or plays a wild card game. This is not a team that you want to face, that you feel comfortable facing, especially since it's being driven by pitching.
Oh, called strike 3 on Cargo. He didn't like that call. At the top of the zone, borderline pitch. So Cargo, who is 2 for 2 and a sac fly, will have to depart, 1 out, and that'll bring up Ian Desmond, who had a 2-run home run his last time up. This is Yaxel Rios. We saw him the other day. And Mitch Walding is now in at third base. Santana's out of the game. Adam Morgan did a good job. He faced 4 hitters and he retired them all. That's a strike. In the Rockies dugout, Big Daddy's getting a helmet on. Desmond calls time. Still 3-2 Arizona. Dodgers threatening in the bottom of the third. They have the bases loaded, 1 out. Ground ball sneaks through the right side, and Story will go first to third. And now the ball underneath the glove of Kingery. No man's land for a moment, but the third baseman just came in. Mitch Walding ran over.
Desmond with a nice home run to center field, his last at bat, now taking a baseball and finding the 4-hole. 2 for 4 on the evening, right past Kingery on the Subaru Supermo. Excuse me, it's Hernandez on the Subaru Supermo.
Ball 1 on Tony.
Yaxel Rios was a former 12th rounder for the Phillies out of Draconchita High School in Puerto Rico back in 2011. He was a third baseman.
Nine runs, 12 hits for Colorado tonight. No runs, just 3 hits for the Phils. I can't in good conscience call them the fighting Phils right now. Foul ball. How about these updated numbers on Marquez? His last 9 ball games, and by the way, that's 12 straight quality starts, or HQ starts, high quality starts. His last 9, though, we'll take those. 62 2/3, so 7 innings. 1 out shy of 7 innings and outing. A 1.86 ERA. Ready for this? 82 punch outs, 10 walks. Get the out there, and they couldn't double up Tony, so he'll get an RBI. And now it's 4 straight ball games with 10 runs for the Rockies at home. The only other time they did that was 2000. And Matt Holliday now is going to pinch hit. Tony getting his 27th RBI. want to keep Matt sharp. He hasn't appeared in the first 2 ball games. All right-handed starters this week scheduled. Philadelphia, Jake Arrieta tomorrow, and Washington scheduled to throw all right-handed starters. So Holiday relegated to a pinch hitting role. And they haven't obviously needed him the first 2 games. Not that they need him right here, but you want to get him, an at bat or 2, so he's still sharp. 1-1. Zach Greinke worked out of that bases loaded 1-out situation. So Arizona continues to lead 3-2 over the Dodgers down in Phoenix. 1-1 to Holiday. Saw that slider out of his hand. 2-2. Great crowd tonight. 35,181.
They've been vocal tonight. They've several standing ovations.
They've been in it from before first pitch.
They've had a lot to cheer about. It's hard not to start cheering when your starter comes out and strikes the first 3 guys out. And he strikes the first 8 with a chance to set a major league record with 9 in a row. But it's a good example of what a starting pitcher can do if the crowd is energized. 3 batters into a game, imagine what that does to the guys that are on the field that have now played 157 games.
3-2. So Tony will be off. Well, put your uni back on. You're going out to play center field, Spilly, and you know that German Marquez is on the mound. How excited are you?
Pumped up.
It permeates the whole clubhouse when Freeland's got the baseball that day or Marquez has the baseball that day. I think people would be surprised, especially in the middle of the season, how often position players come to the ballpark and they're not sure who the starter is for their club that day. I mean, they're focused on their job and where they're going to hit potentially that day and their preparation for that night. I've had many conversations through the years and the guy go, hey, who's throwing for us tonight?
Yeah, who's pitching tonight?
This time of year, they know. And a strikeout's going to end the inning. So Holiday goes down. Trevor with his 3rd hit, a single, would eventually score the Rockies' 10th run. low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. And by Dish Network, better TV for all. What a beautiful night. One of the great cities in the land. The Rockies in Denver, up 10-0. Couple changes. Ryan McMahon now in for Ian Desmond at first base. And after 7 spectacular innings from German Marquez, it'll be Seung-Hwan Oh. His 71st appearance between Toronto and Colorado. With that last appearance, his 70th. His contract vested for next year, so Seung-Hwan, in all likelihood, will be back with the Rockies next year. And he has been a great addition, one of those under-the-radar additions that didn't get a ton of national play, but Jeff Bridich and his staff acquiring him from Toronto, and he has settled that 7th inning down.
He really has. And he takes a lot more pressure off the guys. He gives
in the air to left field, fairly deep. Ball makes the catch, 1 out.
Enjoy fan appreciation fireworks at Coors Field on September 28th. Come for the game against the Nationals and stay for an electrifying fireworks show courtesy of T-Mobile. All fans will also receive a 2019 magnet schedule courtesy of T-Mobile.
1 out. Arizona has a man on in their half of the third, up 3-2 against the Dodgers. Once again, Milwaukee beat St. Louis 2-1. So the Rockies are 5 outs for moving a game and a half in front of St. Louis for the final wild card spot. And if Arizona can win tonight, long way to go at home, and the Rockies again hold on to their 10-0 lead, Colorado will move back into first place in the NL West. 2-0 on Andrew Knapp. One of my favorite parts of this time of year, Spilly. And, you know, we're so privileged to do what we do and have the opportunity to bring the ball games to everybody throughout the year. I stayed in the booth last night. I mentioned this. Watched the end of the Diamondbacks game with one of my boys and his buddies, and then on the way out of the stadium, went back inside the clubhouse, talked to Chris Iannetta. He was still watching the game.
All the guys are still in there.
Buddy and the coaching staff, they're watching the game. And that's the really neat part, where these great players who just won a ball game, now they become fans like all of us, and they're rooting on a team they just competed against in Arizona.
You find yourself rooting for a player that you never would root for. I remember rooting for Tony Gwynn Jr. back in 2007. You compete against these guys, you're not rooting for, it's rare that you ever root for somebody on another team.
And we were kidding Tony Gwynn Jr. earlier this year. It was actually the last time the Rockies played the Padres, just a couple weeks ago. And you know, Tony's now on the broadcasting side with the Padres. He's a great guy, just like his dad. Whoa, look at that pitch. He came in at 73 miles an hour for the strikeout. Knapp's got it. But Tony, tongue-in-cheek, had one of the biggest hits in Colorado Rockies history.
No question.
Though he never played for the Rockies.
No question. Now, you know, Bud Black does not like us talking about that at all. So we'll stop.
He's coming around. Here's Mitch Walding's first at bat. And it's line foul.
Well, let's see who runs he gets his baseball. 1, 2, 3 guys, 4 guys all made an attempt. Thought maybe the security guard would run out there, but it was too far for him to go.
It was after the 94th strike, and you know, we lost the lost that season. Montreal had that great team. That had to be in the 60s. Yep, 69 mile-an-hour curveball. When, as a gesture to the fans, after so many work stoppages, players started giving the baseball to fans as they jogged in, and now, of course, it's a regular occurrence. The final boss with a 1-2-3 inning, 2 punch-outs in the process. It's all Colorado. The order coming up, and Garrett Hampson's going to pinch hit for Charlie Blackmon. Ordinarily, you wouldn't think much of this at all, except Charlie's 0 for 4 tonight, and he had a 17-game hitting streak. So I'm sure Buddy asked him, and he said, "No, I'm good with it." And Charlie came out of the ball game early last night. He's had at different times this year, you know, some back issues. To miss a couple of ball games earlier. By the way, Charlie tonight playing in his 151st game, and that is a hard shot to Hernandez, and he's going to be able to get Hampson by a step. But I think any opportunity to alleviate some of that pressure this time of year on Charlie's back. Charlie, the 17-game hitting streak, second longest in Major League Baseball this year, the longest in the National League.
Colorado Rockies Make an Impact program is a free elementary school assembly that entertains and shows students how to make an impact on their lives and communities. Visit Rockies.com/community for more information. Noel Cuevas now pitch hitting for DJ LeMahieu.
Again, this is the 3rd straight ball game here at Coors Field. Biggest week of the season where the Rockies are not playing a white knuckle game. It's easy on us. It's easy on all the fans at home.
Well, I think
I don't have to yell out nothing easy.
Yeah, nothing easy.
Right?
You know what? And I know the fans appreciate a couple days like this, because it's not going to be easy. Tomorrow, it might be a white knuckle affair.
He's facing Jake Arrieta tomorrow.
This weekend will be a white knuckle affair. The next playoff scenario that you get into. These are great confidence boosters, not just for individual players, but as a group. And that's what we're starting to see. We've seen it, right? We've seen defense, we've seen offense, we've seen starting pitching. The bullpen's been fantastic. There's a walk, an air about this group of guys now. You can see it during batting practice. Quiet confidence.
So many sports, Billy, we talk about peaking at the right time. It's in all the sports, right? You got to peak at the right time. The Rockies are peaking at the right time.
It's how you train when you're training for a marathon, when you're training for the Olympics, when you're training for a fight. All these guys talk about it, making sure they ramp up to being in that peak performance.
What a night for Trevor. Triple, homer, single. Just missed. Rockies need to create a little traffic to get Trevor to the plate here in the bottom of the 8th with an opportunity for a cycle. 1 out, and he's 3 doors down. Two. And Cuevas is out number 2. Hey, it's time for Built for Baseball, brought to you by T-Mobile. Now, the offense was hard to find on the road trip, but it's now 4 straight games at Coors Field that the Rockies have scored 10 runs. 10 times 4 is 40. Billy told me that earlier. David Dahl, big reason why the Rockies have put up big numbers in this series. 3 nights of baseball against the Phils, 3 home runs for David. He's driven in 21 in the month of September. Also walked tonight and scored a run. 1-0, and he's got another base hit. Well, Pat Valleca is going to pinch hit for Nolan. So if Patty Barrels can reach, see if Trevor's actually going to have an opportunity to hit. But he may say you're done for the evening also.
You don't think he'll quickly remind him, hey, we have one more at bat?
You know what? You know what I'm going to say is right.
Managers don't know it.
Managers don't know it, but Trev, that's so not him.
Oh, I know that.
That is so not him.
But the bench coach can say something, or a teammate can go, hey, you know, he needs a triple for a cycle.
Actually needs a double,
double for a cycle.
Yeah, which is, he's only had 40-something of those.
Why he's getting a shot?
No, he's not coming off the bench. This is going to be a double for Valleca, and Dahl is going to cruise home with the Rockies' 11th run. Pat Valleca getting in on the act.
Everybody getting involved. Everybody. From yesterday, the day before. First pitch swing, it's not a sweet pitch that he yanks it down the left field line. Dahl, look, the Rockies aren't trying to embarrass the Phillies at all. They're just playing the game hard. That ball rattles around in the left field corner.
Yeah, the way Dahl, Dahl thought Stu Cole was going to stop, but Stu also integrity of the game, and Pat Valleca, he deserved an RBI on that. He was going to score standing up, and Stu sent him, which there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
Raimel Tapia is going to pinch hit for Trevor. And that is lined to left center field, and that was past Dylan Cousins. Tapia heading towards third, and the throw there, not going to get it. One-scoring triple for Tapia. It's 12-0.
Everyone's involved. Tapia was still putting on his batting gloves as he was walking to the plate. He wastes no time. Gives us a chance to see Tapia stretch his legs out, and again the ball's rattling around in that corner.
That's not the best head first slide I've ever seen.
But it gives us a chance to show off that hair.
Austin Davis is going to come in. 12 runs, 15 hits for Colorado. If the Phils could get on a plane and not play that afternoon game tomorrow, they'd probably be all for it. Drew Butera is going to pinch hit for Cargo with Tapia at third base, and Davis. Well, that first pitch looked like it was in the Subaru strike zone. It was called a ball. His numbers on Austin this year. And it's 2-0. Brian Shaw got the final 3 outs last night. He's going to be asked to do the same. Drew Butera just smoked this to deep left, and this one's gone. Pinch hit home run, Drew Butera. It is 14-0. That was a bullet.
You don't think the confidence is just starting from the top and working its way across the team? And I don't want to say it works its way from the top to the bottom. It's just going straight across. Wow.
That's the 4th home run tonight for the Rockies. They had 3 in the 5th inning. Dahl, Story, and Desmond, and now Butera with his first Rockies home run. And this is the first at bat tonight for McMahon. What'll be interesting is where everybody is located defensively in the top of the 9th inning. And this is to third. And that is the final out. Mercifully for Philadelphia.
It's
4
gonna be
more
a
runs.
happy clubhouse tonight. Everybody's done something.
Look at GP.
Out on a limb to say we won't be celebrating a Rockies victory. I'm sorry. I did it. I put it out there.
That was just a real limb. She's a real risk taker.
Yeah, she is. I'm a risk taker in late September. Things are getting fun. They're getting heated. We'll, of course, look around. But you have to appreciate this offense. An offense that couldn't find themselves on the road, and I think they've found themselves at home.
What I think is so funny is we've been quoting Gladiator, right? It was like hold, till the 5th inning, and then it was like on my signal, unleash hell. And then they just went nuts right there.
Well, somebody that at least something was Marquez from the very first pitch. It's setting a Major League record. Pretty cool. Or tying a Major League record.
Dominant performance. We'll talk about all that coming up on the Toyota Post Game Show. Drew, we'll send it back to you to finish things out.
Jenny, I like how you went out on the limb there.
Yeah. Thanks.
Gutsy. Here's the defensive changes, of which there are 7 of them, because Butera is not both at first and behind the plate. Tony's still behind the plate, but Tapia is in center field. Cuevas is in right field. David Dahl gets to play the whole game. He's in left field. And the whole new infield goes Valleca, Hampson, McMahon, Butera, left to right. And Brian Shaw, of course, is the new pitcher. And Brian with good cutter for strike 1 on Cesar Hernandez.
Saw Shaw throw last night. One inning, had a strikeout, had a walk. Cutter looked good. Was able to throw it inside to righties, which has been a bit of an issue for him.
Song 1-0. Quick inning, 2 punch outs. And now it's going to be 3 full days of rest for Ottavino and Davis.
Well, just think about this too, as these guys, you know, we've seen Oberg pitching really well. We've seen O pitching well. We've seen Ottavino pitching well. Davis is pitching well. Russin is starting to pitch really well. We're starting to see his command on both sides. You get Shaw going as well.
Two and two.
There's plenty of other arms in the bullpen, and they've all been pitching in the month of September. And we pointed those stats out. This team is starting to fire on all cylinders, and that's so important because every guy wants to feel like they're contributing. That's what it boils down to. When these guys go home at night, what did I do to help the team? And you want to feel like you're part of something bigger. If you end up winning a division for the first time in franchise history.
Brian gets a strikeout on Hernandez, 1 out.
You want to feel like you impacted that organization and that you were part of something that would be remarkable. Is seeing a pennant go up on that wall.
Pedro Florimon is going to pinch hit. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. One of the things Matt Holliday said to us before the game today, Matt has a great feel for the temperature already of this club. And he said, yeah, the confidence is great. He said, but it truly is. We're just taking this game tonight, pitch to pitch, inning to inning, and that's all you can do. And tomorrow, you know, listen, the clubhouse will have music going tonight, and it's going to feel great. And they're going to go home and turn it around real quick because they're going to be back at the ballpark, you know, 9, 10 in the morning at the latest. And it's a new day. And as baseball players, you are conditioned from the time you're very young to realize no matter how grand a performance it was the day before, the next day the slate is wiped clean.
But a night like tonight, where all the guys go home, and when they wake up in the morning, because there's times in a baseball season where it's 3 players are playing well. You know, well, I really hope that this guy has a good game, and I really hope that this guy pitches, because then we'll win. Well, that's not the feeling tonight. I promise you that. They're going to go home tonight. They're going to wake up in the morning, and they're going to go, we're going to win today. And it's going to be, I'm not sure who's going to help, but every single one of those players in that clubhouse can do something. And that is a dangerous place to be if you're facing that group.
That's a pitching matchup, Spilly tomorrow. Jake Arrieta, who's had a good year. He's not the same Jake Arrieta of a couple of years ago. And Antonio Senzatella, another guy in that Rockies rotation, who's been throwing the ball really well. This is going to be a base hit to left center field for Florimon. In fact, he's going to get a double out of it. So Florimon with a 1-out double. And that'll bring up Odubel Herrera. That's the first hit, the first base runner for Philadelphia since the leadoff single in the 5th inning by Scott Kingery against Herman. Herman tonight, 7 shutout innings, just 3 singles. He walked 1, he struck out 11, including a major league tying first 8 batters of the game. And I mean, it was quick, folks. It wasn't 3-2 punch outs, it was 0-2 punch outs primarily. 1, 2, 3, you're gone. 1, 2, 3, you're gone. Herrera 0 for 3, strikeout, couple ground outs. And Valleca, 2nd out. at first. That'll bring up first baseman Rhys Hoskins. 2 outs in the 9th.
Well, this would be a bat I'd like to see for Brian Shaw. Right on right, this is a slugger. Rhys Hoskins has more home runs against righties than he does lefties. Can you command that cutter inside? Everybody has personal battles, especially in a game that's 14-0.
And unfortunately for Brian this year, righties have hit 341 against him.
They've done all the damage against Brian Shaw this season. That's why I want to see, where's the cutter at?
And when Brian was getting more work early in the second half, there were a few outings there where the cutter was instead of 95 and flat, it was more 91, 92, and it had some depth on it. Just had trouble maintaining that this year. We've pointed this out so many times this year too. One of the other things I love about this young staff, and not only how close they are, but they don't run to the showers when they get removed from the game. They stick around.
I love that about that group.
I'll tell you something I've been meaning to mention. Get a shot at Kyle Freeland here. Every time Kyle pitches and he's interviewed after the game, it is always we. You know, we had the slider working today. We felt like we could do this, and he's talking about whoever's catching him that day. It's never I had the, you know, a good fastball today. It's always we, every single time, which tells you a whole lot about Kyle Freeland. That's pretty talented little threesome right there.
That's a great group of guys right there, and we can get John to just stick his head in there too, and Tyler Anderson.
Yep, Big John. 3-1. And a walk to Hoskins. First and third, 2 outs. And that'll bring up Roman Quinn. Pretty close game, though it's hard to remember that going to the 5th inning. It was just 2-0 Colorado. Yeah, Marquez was dominant, but Pivetta was pitching well. And then the Rockies threw out a 7 spot. This is going to land harmlessly on the warning track. 0-1. 3 home runs in that inning, and again it was David Dahl breaking it open with a 3-run shot on an 0-2 pitch. And instead of going to left tonight, as he did on Monday and Tuesday evening, he hit it to dead center. Bouncer to first, to Shaw. Even though Quinn can run, that's the ball game. And the Rockies have made it 6 straight. They're now a game and a half in front in the wild card race for that last wild card spot. Again, St. Louis lost earlier this evening 2-1 to Milwaukee. It continues to be Arizona 3 and the Dodgers 2. They're in the 5th inning in Phoenix. If the Dodgers lose, the Rockies will move into first place by a half game. The Rockies now 88-70. What a performance. 14-0 final as we go to Jenny in center field.
All right, Drew, thanks so much. Fun night at the ballpark indeed. Fun night for this offense. It just keeps rolling. And in fact, we might just spend the night here because there's day game tomorrow, folks.
Let's do it, because the way they're playing right now, you're rushing to get to the ballpark.
These guys are expecting to win. This is really fun to watch.
So are these guys. They believe they're having fun.